Alright guys, so back again with Monday Night Raw review for April 2nd. Yes. Man, the yes chants were all over the place here for Raw.
It's spreading like wildfire. It's awesome to see.
It was really good. I would be very happy if I was Daniel Bryan because they should really push him just because of what they can get out of this.
Exactly.
But yeah, on a sad note, what did you think of WrestleMania?
Honestly, I thought I liked Raw a lot more than WrestleMania, as insane as that sounds. Honestly, I think it's probably the worst WrestleMania I've seen, pound for pound.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad that The Rock won. I'm glad that the Team Johnny worked out and everything. But the D-Bry squash to me was a horrible way to start the tone for it.
Yeah.
And you know, I just feel like it lacked something that a lot of the previous WrestleManias have had. So,
you know what I was thinking about that? I think that was like an April Fool's joke that WWE played on the fans because it was the first match. They squashed him. Okay. But it really sucks.
I never thought about that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was April 1st.
That's true.
And it was the only thing they really did that people were like, what the hell was that? Yeah. And it really just is spitting in the face of the fans because you got people who fly from other countries. Exactly. Like Ireland to watch Sheamus, and then they don't even get a match. And it's just, it was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the more, like, biggest matches I was actually looking forward to, just see what D-Bry would do. But
me too.
It's just...
It was definitely top 4 for me. And I thought, I already did the video on Mania, so you know my thoughts on that. Yeah. But I think that overall it was an okay show.
Really?
Yeah. What'd you think of like the Cell match and Jericho?
You know, honestly, Hell in the Cell wasn't too bad. A lot of good chair shots, I guess, on the back. Like, I mean, I guess once you watch like Foley and Undertaker back in the day, like it's just not the same. But you know, all in all, that was a decent match. I thought at the very end it was kind of sort of epic. I guess all the 3 old guys walking out together and everything. So
I agree. I really liked that part too.
It was interesting.
And The Rock went over, so that was good. I thought the whole thing could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just gets so hyped up, it can never really like meet your expectations. Yeah. But honestly, I'm kind of I guess I'm not real surprised The Rock won, but I guess I kind of thought Cena might just as easily take it like he always does. So it was refreshing to see.
So Hall of Fame 2012 came, and I know that they have to cut it short, and we only get an hour, so we don't get to see like all the speeches and all the stuff like that. But they did do the 4 Horsemen. I also noticed Lita was in the crowd with CM Punk. I don't know if they're like together now. Really? Yeah, Lita was sitting with CM Punk. And they did the 4 Horsemen, which was Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Barry Windham with J.J. Dillon. So there's been a lot of people in the 4 Horsemen, but they went with
like
those.
Like the 8 Horsemen by now, with all the previous members.
And Dusty Rhodes was the guy who inducted them. There was something funny here that I thought. Flair starts telling a story because he doesn't want to get like all emotional, and he starts talking about how he was calling his wife about how he was going out to a bar with John Cena, and he said him and Cena left the bar at 3 a.m. and it shows Cena laughing in the crowd. But I'm thinking, like, he's such a face. Isn't it weird to like think of Cena going to a bar until 3 in the morning? I thought Flair was going to start saying, and then we did lines of coke in the bathroom.
Got like lap dances. Yeah.
But I thought that was really funny. And then we have DX with Triple H, HBK induct Tyson. This was funny. Tyson starts mentioning how he was a huge fan growing up and his favorite wrestler was Bruno Sammartino, who is not even in the Hall of Fame. They have like this big feud, him and Vince, and they try to get him in. He doesn't want to be in, but I don't know. It's a big thing. But it's just funny that Tyson mentions Bruno and like all the guys he beat. Okay. And then we have Christian inducting him.
Yeah. Christian got a little solemn for a moment. Took it pretty real. It was interesting to see.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah. Go Christian.
So then we have Raw, and the show opens up with John Laurinaitis. He's addressing the locker room. He says he's going to give the power back to the people, and the first thing he does is he puts Santino in a triple threat match with Dolph and Swagger. CM Punk comes out. He calls him a big toolbox, and so he puts CM Punk in a match against Mark Henry for the WWE Championship. So this is kind of like the start of John Laurinaitis' power trip.
Yeah. But he's trying to keep it with the people. What is it? People power or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Catchphrase, but
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too, and I would expect Laurinaitis to treat the baby faces on SmackDown and Raw really bad for a long time.
D-Bry needs vindication ASAP, so
yeah.
Hopefully we'll see some work out there.
So then we get The Rock. He comes out. He says that Cena brought it to him last night. He says it was an honor to compete in the biggest match of all time. He thanks the people. He says it's not the end, and he guarantees it's just the beginning. The crowd starts chanting yes, which they will do the entire night.
That's awesome.
Rock says he says he had a vision, and he wipes a monkey's ass with the word impossible.
Yes.
And his
an inspiring speech right there, for real.
Yeah, this was good. He says that his vision is becoming WWE champion, and then the fans chant yes again. So I thought this was pretty good. And
if you notice, no matter who's speaking, it always comes back to D-Bry after a while.
Yeah. Even for The Rock.
It's bizarre, yeah.
I thought this was cool, and this is probably going to be what I expect is at some time John Cena's going to win the belt again, and then they'll try and do Rock Cena at Mania next year. So, just going, like, we still have a whole year, but that's what I would guess right now.
And they're already hyping it up for next year, so.
Yeah, big time with the way the show went.
Oh, yeah.
So, then we have Santino versus Swagger versus Dolph for the U.S. title.
Nah.
Swagger does the push-ups on Santino's ass this week.
Gets a little gay again.
And then we have, actually, Dolph and Swagger were working good together. Until Dolph went for the pin.
Yeah, what did he do to him? Like some sort of suplex or something?
Yeah, he kind of picks Dolph up and tosses him.
And Vicky got pissed off about that.
And they kind of start fighting each other, which you knew was going to happen in a triple threat match. But Santino beats Swagger with the Cobra. And then Santino kind of does his power walk thing up the ramp. And Dolph and Swagger are following him. And then Brodus Clay comes out.
Yeah, and he like headbutts him.
Yeah. And
unexpected.
He flies.
I guess honestly, it's kind of good they're doing something a little bit more than the traditional Brodus Clay thing, just dancing. So hopefully it'll evolve somewhat because they have to do something with this. It's sinking pretty quick.
I mean, people are tired of the squash matches.
Yeah.
And he really needs to start getting in an angle and some kind of storyline, and this works. And I think the reason he didn't squash someone this week was because of this next match, which was Lord Tensai's debut.
That was interesting.
Yeah. With Sakamoto, his Japanese manager who doesn't talk. And so we have Tensai versus Alex Riley. There are more yes chants in this match. Like every time he would do something, people would chant yes. Tensai wins with the double choke slam, sitting, or pinning, and the ref stops the match because Alex Riley's too messed up. It's basically A-Train's old finishing move, or the Baldo bomb as they called it.
Yeah.
And Sakamoto hands Tensai something.
Oh yeah, it's a something he puts in his mouth, some sort of whatever.
I have no idea what
whatever
this
it's
was.
supposed to be, some sort of poison or something maybe.
He just spits it in his hand, and then he grabs Alex Riley on the face.
It's like his hand kind of comes down on his face, and it almost looks like he's blinding him or something, and then just drives his skull down to the mat.
Beats me. I assume Alex Riley is going to be blind now, and it's some way to like blind wrestlers.
Yeah, I think Tensai is going to have something to offer for a little while anyways.
Yeah.
Bring something, a little bit new.
He's definitely a big
cool
guy.
Yeah, he's a monster, So
yeah.
That's what they need to focus on.
And they did mention that he was a former WWE star.
Very nonchalantly. They kind of try to just sweep that under the rug, but they do make a little bit of a mention to it.
I thought this was okay. It wasn't like a great match by any means. But it's good that he's not saying anything yet.
Yeah.
And they can kind of have him squash a few guys. And then get some heat that way. And blind them all. So then we get Mark Henry versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship.
Mark Henry looks like a bee.
A giant bumblebee.
Giant bumblebee.
This was good. This got a lot of time, actually. And this was a good match, I thought.
Okay, and then this is when Jericho came out at the end, right? And forces him to drink whiskey, and
well, just dumps it all over.
Yeah, whatever that was all about. And then he slips, falls on, like Jericho slips on his ass. Like, it was a pretty epic fail right there.
There was a few things.
It was awkward, and then he goes to grab another bottle of whiskey, comes back, and like is gonna break it over his head, but the bottle's obviously completely fake.
Yeah.
And it explodes before it even like reaches his face.
Yeah, he just goes to toss it, and then the bottle crashes.
It was pretty much 2 quick botches right there, but still entertaining.
Yeah, and I think they're going to start building to Mark Henry versus CM Punk now, because he had the good match with him, and Henry won the match because he tosses Punk over the ropes and he gets counted out. So he won. He just didn't get the title. And he says, "I own you, boy."
And he's too dumb to realize that he's actually not going to get the title right there.
He's like, "What?"
Okay, and then what's the other guy's name that comes back? I don't know if they say his name or not. The guy who's like hustling Mark Henry to like try to be his manager.
Oh,
that guy.
Yeah, that was later on.
Okay.
But yeah, so Henry does that, and then Laurinaitis comes out and says he wants Punk to start defending the title on a more consistent basis, which I assume means he's going to be doing it on SmackDown too, and Raw.
And he says there's like trouble in paradise. There's like a thunderstorm coming through or whatever.
Yeah, dark clouds.
It's like dark clouds.
And then Jericho does his thing, and I guess they're gonna keep that going too. So
yeah.
Sheamus comes out. Before he can say anything, he's interrupted by Del Rio with Rodriguez. Yes. He says he's going to beat Sheamus for the belt. He doesn't hide behind a chica. And then the fans start chanting, C.
And they start chanting Daniel Bryan after a while, too, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God, dude. Daniel Bryan was so over here.
He's over, man. People are turning on Sheamus right now.
And Sheamus says they don't want to hear him talk. They want to see him bro kick people in the face. Del Rio says Laurinaitis gave us a match for SmackDown, so that should be good. And then all of a sudden his mic stops working.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I still don't understand exactly what that was all about, but and then he gets kind of reminiscent of D-Bry last night, the same exact kick from the angle, you know.
Yeah, he's messing with the microphone, turns around, gets bro kick, and that was it. They show Daniel Bryan watching backstage with AJ. Matthews comes up and asks him about his loss, and he just kind of stares at him.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to start to see a more intense Daniel Bryan after this, which is good.
I think he just needs to snap on a few people and just solidify himself as just a badass, you know? Because he's got everybody behind him right now. So
because he does have the whole technical aspect, he can just make people tap out. He could go and just refusing to release the holds and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of things they could do. Then we get Cody Rhodes versus Kofi Kingston. Cody hits a disaster kick and picks Kofi up to hit the crossroads on him, but Big Show comes out, and this week he shows an embarrassing Cody Rhodes.
That was stupid, man. Like, that was retarded.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Just him losing a Mania.
Yeah.
But it distracts him long enough for him to turn around and get hit with Trouble in Paradise, so Kofi gets the win.
Honestly, I'm not real happy about the baby faces dominating the belts right now between Sheamus and the Big Slow. Not a good situation, but we'll see what happens.
And then here's the spot you mentioned earlier where Mark Henry is backstage just tossing furniture around.
Right.
And some guy comes up to him and says, "Put some muscle with that hustle." And he says,
"I'll
represent you."
He's got the hustle to him, so.
This was interesting. He gives Mark Henry a card, so I guess we're going to start seeing that guy as Henry's manager. Perhaps a few other wrestlers. Because last week on Raw, before they said that The Miz was on Team Johnny, when they were doing the Bellas segment, I saw Drew McIntyre in the hallway talking to somebody, and it was this guy. Like,
okay, okay, I know what you're talking about.
I didn't know who he was talking to, and then he just vanished, and then they never mentioned it.
Okay.
So I expect him to maybe create a stable of guys.
Okay.
But, so that happened. And then we get Eve. She comes out.
Yeah.
Says she finally got her WrestleMania moment. She manipulated Ryder. She can manipulate anybody except Laurinaitis, and she's glad she helped him win.
She's actually a pretty good heel, I think. Like, I didn't really care too much about her for a long time, but I feel like she's kind of stepped it up a little bit.
Yeah, I actually am enjoying her heel work.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it. So
we get the Miz versus Zack Ryder. Not much to this one. It was an okay match. Miz wins with skull crushing.
Miz is finally getting a push again. It's kind of miraculous, but yeah,
it's small.
It is,
but it's
like
there.
You got to climb up the ladder rung by rung, as The Rock would say.
Yeah, at least it was a clean win, and he got the win for Team Johnny at Mania.
Exactly.
So it's a tiny push, but at least it's something.
And he's never lost at WrestleMania.
Miz?
Yeah. I think they made some point about saying that tonight.
Then we have, for SmackDown this week, we're going to get Orton versus Kane and Sheamus versus Del Rio. They kind of advertised that. And then the final segment, Cena comes out. And he's actually acting serious, which is one thing I was worried about. I thought he'd come out and do that smirk and act all goofy, like, oh, I lost to The Rock, I'm such a joke.
Basically, he's just got a hard-on for The Rock. He's just like, I just respect The Rock so much, and he's such a great athlete.
And I didn't notice this at Mania. You brought it to my attention that he's wearing the jean shorts.
Yeah, he's bringing back the jorts.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
It's a fashion statement not many dare to pull.
Yeah.
But Cena, he will do it.
One interesting thing I thought he mentions here is he actually says, "Is this going to be the day I lash out at the WWE Universe?" And the fans
goes, yes.
And he says, "Sorry to disappoint you," and they all boo.
Exactly.
How many wrestlers have gotten to a point where when they say they're going to turn heel, the fans cheer, and then when they say they're not, they boo them?
It's amazing, man. It's an enigma.
Yeah.
Really.
And that's like you said. He just keeps talking about The Rock, how he's a champion, and he invites him out, but The Rock never shows up.
But this is the most badass moment probably in the past year or so, or a couple of years in Raw.
Oh, actually, there's one other thing I want to mention. When Cena, the fans are going crazy with the yes chants.
Oh yeah, and they start chanting, "We want Lesnar."
Yeah, they're chanting, "We want Lesnar."
Daniel Bryan.
Yes. And Cena says, he starts chanting yes.
Right.
And then he looks at the camera and he says, "Daniel Bryan, you owe me one."
Exactly.
For what? For what? They're already chanting it.
Yeah.
Cena's not going to help them chant it more. And then when he says that, the fans start chanting Daniel Bryan like loud. They stop the Lesnar chant and they just chant for him.
You just have to understand it's Cena, man. He's trying to latch on to anything he can right now.
He's a hero in his own mind.
Yeah.
But then...
the man of the hour, man.
Then the big thing happens.
Dude.
We get Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Cena's kind of waiting on The Rock, I guess, is what he was doing. And then you just see on the Titantron Lesnar.
And the music, badass theme song, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I like that.
And it just, he comes out and the place erupts.
People pop, man. That's the biggest pop I've seen. I mean, honestly, I think they had a bigger pop than Rock last night, like, coming out, really.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty huge.
It was definitely huge. And he gets in the ring. He walks around the ring at first. He gets in, and then he hits the F5 on Cena.
And he goes for a handshake, I believe, at first, to Cena, and he just, like, straight up throws him up. Cena just lays there, like a fish, and then he lands it and kicks his hat across the ring.
Yeah, it was...
a sign of disrespect, so...
Oh, my God. This was awesome.
Sucks in MMA, but in wrestling, it's like... dude's awesome, so...
Yeah.
That was really pretty epic ending to Raw. I really enjoyed that. It was badass.
I thought the entire Raw show was good.
Yeah.
And I thought Lesnar just put it over the top.
Yes, definitely.
Seeing this now and the eruption the fans had here, I'm kind of glad they saved it for Monday instead of doing it at Mania. That way The Rock gets a clean win and Cena looks bad twice instead of once. So
Cena looks horrible right now, man. It's awesome.
That's true. But yeah, that was it this week. Awesome Raw.
Mediocre WrestleMania, but awesome Raw, I would say.
Yeah, very cool Raw. And I am really interested to see where they go with this. SmackDown should be awesome because we'll get some more Daniel Bryan stuff.
Pretty damn good, yeah.
Del Rio, Sheamus, that should be good. Glad to see Del Rio back too.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, they got some talent back now, thankfully, for a little while.
Yeah, and like we were talking about the monsters they have.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just getting more exciting finally. Like, it's just been so lackluster.
Yeah, so, maybe build Mark Henry back up with this whole manager guy.
Right.
And then you got Lord Tensai.
Exactly.
You got Lesnar. Maybe even Brodus Clay could do some good stuff here. So, yeah, I'm really happy about this, and I'm actually excited. So I thought this was a great show, and I'm looking forward to SmackDown and definitely Raw next week to see what Cena says about Lesnar just hitting the F5 on him. So that's definitely going to be cool.
Yes.
So that's it for this week, guys. Hope you liked the review, and I will be back to do like a movie review tomorrow and then TNA on Thursday. So hope you check that out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed, and that's it. So thanks for watching.